I've had my eyes on this keyboard for quite a while now. I just never got around to reaching out to Womier about it. But when they finally contacted me, I knew this was the one I wanted to review. This is the Womier RD75 Pro, and after spending the past few weeks with it, I think there's a lot worth talking about. Let's quickly check it out. Disclaimers out of the way first. As mentioned in the intro, Womier sent this keyboard out for me to review, but all thoughts and opinions are all mine. They're seeing this video the same time as you do. I wanted to review this for a long time since this feels to me as if the Mode Sonnet got a budget version for the masses. Let's see if it holds up to my expectations. Inside the baby blue box, we are first greeted with the board itself, snuggled up inside with heaps of foam for protection. Underneath that are the manuals for the board, helping you to set it up properly. On top, lives a box full of accessories, starting with the white Type-C to Type-A cable that's not braided nor coiled, a keycap and switch puller combo, extra switches, and an extra keycap to restore your dongle, some silicone gaskets in case you want to change out its default, we'll discuss later, an extra aluminum badge for the weight, and finally, extra accent and Mac specific keycaps. Going back to the board itself, I've got mine in the channel appropriate colorway, which is in this anodized blue, and first impressions, I'm in love already. The RD75 Pro by Womier joins the ranks of their 75% series as one of the more premium end boards in the lineup. It's priced at $130 to $150 USD give or take, with options of a blue anodized case like the one I have here, an anodized black, anodized silver, and finally, powder coated beige. It's a no frills and clean looking 75% that takes away the knob and screen you'd usually see at this price point and trades it in with a wonderful compact 75% layout that's pleasing to the eyes and is very comfortable to type on. To the front is the aforementioned layout with blockers on the bottom right for an LED diffuse waveform-like pattern, as well as a blocker that separates out the navigation keys and the arrow keys. To the sides lives a wedge-like profile, while on the rear is a Type-C port for wired connection. To the back lives the external weight with a brush-like appearance, and to the sides are the thin rubber feet. To the middle is a place to hide your 2.4 GHz dongle that, if you recall earlier, has a nifty replacement should you wish to continue the silver weight aesthetic. Overall, a well thought out implementation. Other key things to include, since we talked about its wireless capabilities, the toggle to turn on this keyboard is located underneath the caps lock key, same as what Acco does to their Mineral series. Overall, I love the design ethos they chose for this keyboard. It really reminds me of high-end 75%s with its design and the uniform bezels all throughout. Weighing in just under 2 kilograms, this is one heavy board. Over the past 2 weeks of testing, this board didn't show any signs of scuffs or anodization mismatch, though it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet. And unlike the 2 previous keyboards I've reviewed, this is actually easy to disassemble, maintain, and even mod. This uses a ball and latch system to be able to easily remove the top from the rest of the case. It doesn't stop there. Just like the previous releases from QWERTY keys, this also incorporates a magnetic connection to the daughter board through pogo pins. And from my time of fiddling with this, I've had no problems with the connection at all. It's all well thought out, and I for one enjoy this, as I can easily disassemble the board without any hesitation. Moving over to the PCB, and I'm kind of surprised. It's a 5-pin hot swap keyboard for mechanical switches, and in doing so, it's orientated in a south-facing orientation, with admittedly a bit dim of a perky RGB and accent lighting. What surprised me is the layout options you get. Step caps lock is here, and looks like even ISO options as well, though you need to tinker a bit with the plate. As I said earlier, it's connected to a daughter board through magnetic pogo means, and the 8000 mAh battery inside proved to be great and long-lasting, especially because it lacks a screen. Wireless performance is great, having shown no issues at all in connecting and in use. And while this may seem like a great PCB for 2026, I just wish They also added a TMR PCB, just like their SK series. Other specs include it being a 1.2mm FlexCut PCB, and finally, it's BIA compatible, which ticks off any more boxes for my qualifications for a good PCB. Having talked about the PCB thickness, now let's talk about the mounting structure. This uses your typical gasket mount I've been bored about for the past few months, but this time, it's quite different. Instead of the thick silicone gaskets you commonly see with other boards, they've opted to use the smaller silicone for less contact and more bounce. Added to the fact that the FR4 plate is flex cut alongside the PCB, and you've got yourself one smooth, bouncy, and flexy keyboard. It feels nice to type on with no harsh bottom out, both feel-wise and sound-wise. Speaking of sound, Womier pre-built this with their own full palm switches, and they sound great. It's a medium weight linear which is pre-lubed out of the box, and to my ears, they're a bit clacky. The keycaps are great too, having double shot PBT for its material and printing. It follows GMK's design cue, and the accent keys are a nice touch, though are not really one-to-ones to the printing of the baby blue modifier keys. Still, it's nice to have the option. Overall, I have no major complaints on the keycap and switch choices they made. It perfectly complements the board, and the sound test can prove that. Speaking of which, here is the Womier RD75 Pro with the FR4 plate, full palm switches, PBT keycaps, all stock with all the foam. Enjoy! I'm impressed with what Womier has pulled off with the RD75 Pro. It sits on the higher end of the budget market, and while it may not offer the absolute best value proposition compared to some of its competitors, what you're getting here is a more refined take on the budget keyboards we've become accustomed to. I love its design language, the well-rounded feature set, and the included accessories are simply the cherry on top. If I were to nitpick, there are really only two things I'd point out: the slightly dim RGB implementation, and my hope that Womier eventually releases a TMR version of this keyboard. Beyond that, this in my eyes is the budget Mode Sonnet. It's the 75% keyboard I recommend to someone looking for a mid-range board that delivers all the features a beginner could want, while still leaving plenty of room to grow and experiment with mods as they dive deeper into the hobby. I highly recommend the RD75 Pro by Womier. About you, what do you think of the RD75 Pro? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm Johan J. Villanueva, and I'll see you in the next video.